So you are going to Brazil and you want to know about what visa you need. On this video, we'll be talking about the e-visa platform, who are the people who are eligible for that, as well as other questions that you guys might have. My name is Anna, and here on this channel, we talk everything about Brazil, not only information that you might need for your trip, but as well as destinations, both very popular and off the beaten path. The e-visa platform was launched on the 1st of December 2023. However, the actual visa is only going to start being active or being in effect from the 10th of January onwards. As a disclaimer, all of the information that I'll be telling you is available on the official websites, but if you have a very specific case and maybe you're not sure about something, I urge you to contact the consulate in your jurisdiction, just so you make sure you're doing everything in accordance to what needs to be done for the process. I have no affiliation with any visa partners or the visa itself, the website for the visa. I am just giving you this information as I've seen, and I've noticed loads of people have questions about it. So with that said, let's start. The first thing is, who can apply for these visas? At the moment, the e-visa is only available for Americans, Canadians, and Australians. Other nationalities will still need to use whichever process they do currently. So depending on the nationality, you can come in visa-free, or you need to go to the consulate to actually get your visa. So for anyone else that is not American, Canadian, or Australian, you will need to follow the current process. As usual, call your consulate if you need further information. Those with diplomatic passports and special passports from these three nationalities I mentioned will need to apply for the e-visa as well. At the moment, there are no other information if there will be any other nationalities being added to this platform, so just count on those three to be the ones. Which type of visa can you get? So you will get what Brazil calls a visit visa, and that is usually used for tourism, transit, or business purposes. This visa will allow you to stay up to 90 days in the country and is valid for up to 5 years for multiple entries. What is the process for application? There are 3 steps on this process. The first one, you provide the necessary information and documents. The second one, you pay the fee. The third one, you get your visa and you print it. And that's it, really. Very simple, very easy. They tried and do it as streamlined as they could. How much does the e-visa cost? Currently, December 23, the visa costs $80.90. Those are American dollars, so if you're Canadian or Australian, you will need to do the conversion. And children will need to pay the same price for the visa. So if you're traveling with 2 kids and yourself, it's going to be 3 visas of $80.90 each. If your visa gets rejected, your fee will not be refunded, as it won't if you do by any chance pay twice in error. So be mindful when you're paying for it. If you're paying once, make sure that you're not overpaying again. What documents do I need for the e-visa process? So what are the basic requirements? So you need to have a valid passport of one of those 3 countries, and it needs to have 2 blank pages on the visa section. Also, the expiry date for your passport needs to be on and after the end of your trip to Brazil. You need to fill in the application form in the website. You also need 1 passport photo on that style, like of 2 inches by 2 inches with a white background. You obviously need to pay the e-visa fee of $80.90, as we discussed. And you also need a confirmation of your flights reservations to and from Brazil, which is quite interesting because if you're traveling by bus or by train or by boat, the e-visa is not applicable to you. So the e-visa is only for those who are traveling by plane. So if you plan on coming from another South American country, or if you plan on leaving to another South American country by bus or something like that, you will probably need to apply through the consulate, not through the e-visa platform. You also need to show a bank statement for the last 30 days with transactions that support the financial background you claim to have, as well as the equivalent of 2,000 American dollars in the account as a way for them to know that you have means to support yourself while you're in the country. If you are traveling with children or anyone younger than 18 years old, there are a couple of extra documents you might need to provide, such as their birth certificate and the authorization for issuance for a visa for minors, which is something very specific and signed by both parents. So make sure to take a look into the website for the full list of requirements. Also, if you're traveling by business, there are loads of other requirements, but I'm not going to talk about them because the idea of this video is to cater to anyone who is going as a tourist to Brazil. How long does the visa takes to get processed? So on their website, they say it typically takes up to 5 days. However, they ask you to reach out to them at least 2 months in advance of your trip to Brazil. And the reason for that is because they might request further documents. So that would take another 15 days. And then they might reject it and you might need to go to the consulate. So that's another extra time. So make sure to request your visa 2 months in advance, just so you have peace of mind that you're going to have everything you need to be able to enter the country. Also, if you don't have like those 5 days, or if it's very, very close to your trip and you are a bit concerned that you might not have enough time by applying through the platform, so please reach out to them via the website contacts page so that they can help you in the best way they can to expedite your visa. I am traveling as a family. Is there anything different I need to do? Well, other than paying the fee for each of the people in your family, as well as making sure you have the extra documents needed if any member of your family is a child, there isn't actually anything different. You can apply as a family, but each visa will be treated separately, which means that if one of you get the visas rejected, all the other ones will not have their visas impacted by it. So it might be that just this one person might need to follow a different procedure, whereas everybody else will be able to get their e-visas. What if my visa gets rejected? Can I reapply? If your e-visa gets rejected, you cannot reapply via the website. You will need to go via the consulate and actually go there and do all of the in-person procedures within the consulate. So what is the difference between getting the visa through the e-visa platform and getting the visa via the traditional way of going to the consulate? Well, the first one is obvious, right? The e-visa one allows you to do everything online. You don't need to go anywhere. Whereas the other process, you do need to go in person to the consulate. So maybe you don't live that close. You might not be able to get there. The second difference is that on the e-visa platform, you will receive your visa via email, whereas on the consulate, the visa will get stamped on your passport. Also, as I mentioned in the beginning, the e-visa platform is only for those traveling for tourism, transit, and business. Whereas in the consulate, you can get other types of visas like work, family reunion, digital nomads. So those type of more complex visas need to go through the consulate. What if I have dual citizenship? What is the process? So if your dual citizenship is American, Canadian, or Australian plus another one, you can choose whichever visa you get, right? Either one country or the other, and then you use that and that passport to enter and leave the country. On the other hand, if your dual citizenship is one of those 3 nationalities plus Brazilian, then you do need to get in touch with the consulate to understand what is the best course of action for you. I would assume typically you need to go in Brazil with your Brazilian citizenship, but please do reach out to them to clarify. What happens after I get the visa? So once the visa is issued to you on the e-platform, you're going to be receiving an email with a PDF, which is going to be the visa. The advice they give is to print that PDF so that you have it with you, and that's what they will be asking for you for in the airport. They also suggest you save the PDF on the cloud somewhere, and as well as having like the screenshot on your phone in case once you arrive, perhaps you lost your paper and you need to show somehow, at least if you don't have internet, you have a way of showing the visa to them. That's just going to make the process easier, and it creates redundancy. So if any of you guys work in IT or processes, you know that having redundancies are usually important to avoid failure. The other thing that they advise you to do is, if you're by any chance traveling just before the 10th of January, when the e-visa comes into effect, they ask you to get the visa anyway. So for example, if you're traveling on the 9th or on the 8th, do get the visa to go in, even though it's just by a little bit, because what if your flight gets delayed or gets canceled, you're putting the next flight. If you do get there after midnight and it's already 10th of January, you might not be able to enter Brazil. So better safe than sorry. Just make sure you get the e-visa and just have some peace of mind. Also, I will be listing here below the official website that is as of December 23. So I believe that's going to be the official website for many years to come, but always make sure to check on the government websites. However, this is the only official one. When I was doing my research, I saw loads of dodgy, sketchy websites talking about e-visas, that they can support you The one that I'm posting here is the only one that is on the website of the foreign ministry in Brazil. So make sure to know which website you're using. Lastly, if you have any suggestions, any comments, or anything you would like to see or do, or any place you would like me to visit so that you would like to see, leave me a comment down below. If I am able to, I am more than happy to create a video for that. I've done that here in the channel a few times. So I would really appreciate if you could leave me a comment, and I will leave you with this other video that might help you on your trip to Brazil. I will see you soon. Bye.